So all you need today for this painting that we're going to do is your primary colors of red, yellow, and blue, and some green and brown and some white, and you can put some black on there too if you want. These have really nice bristles and they're great for your trees and your bushes, and this is going to be used for your background, okay? And then we have a flat synthetic brush, chiseled edge, and I have a flat Filbert brush, which is chiseled edge and synthetic, and I also have a liner brush. So far on my palette, because sometimes I add more as I get along, I just have my that's not titanium white, that's plain white. I usually leave the titanium white till the final details. That way you can save, because titanium white is a little more expensive, and so then at the end I use titanium white for the highest, brightest highlights. And I got ultramarine blue, I got magenta, and I got yellow ochre, and bright yellow, and sap green. So far that's what I have on my palette. I could add more. So let's see what it would be like if we took this bright yellow, add a little bit of green to it. Let's see if we can get that. Now that just turns a green, so we're trying to, that will bring your yellow down to a darker green, see? And it looks to me if you put a bit of burnt sienna in there, that might turn it. Let's see. Now this is my reference photo that I'm using. It's a Pixabay photo. I cropped it so I get the boat and here, and I might add a couple of bigger trees here just to give some distance. I'm going to see now. We'll just do a few things with it and see what happens, because I don't want my painting to be exactly the same as the reference photo. So I'm going to make a horizon line, and it's going to be a little underneath the halfway point. So I don't mind if my horizon line is not straight, because I'm going to be putting, you know, you've seen the reference photos, going to be reflections and everything. But I find this is a cute little tool. This is a great tool for, you know, people use it for painting around their house. So I kind of like using it for bigger canvases and things, and you can get smaller ones, so you know, it helps you make a straight line. So I'm going to use any color just to get something started. So I got a bit of blue there, so halfway down, this is about halfway, and I'm gonna come down about here, because we got trees and stuff going on here, right? So we don't want to cut our canvas in half. So see, there we go, that's simple. Any tool that you can find, it helps, you know. You don't have to go by, oh, you gotta have this and you gotta have that. You find your own way, find your own tools, your own way to make things, you know. Come up with your own, be an inventor. That's what I've been doing. I've been inventing things like magic white and magic mist for acrylics, right? And people seem to like it. So anything that I can invent, I will try my best. Ultramarine blue and white. Alright, nice light sky. I'll add more white now. This is a bit dark for down there. I didn't want it that dark down there. I want to darken it up on top a little bit. There we go. Now I want those clouds. I don't know if I want to make puffy clouds or if I just want to make some, you know, straight clouds. If you want to make straight clouds, I'll show you a trick. Put some ultramarine blue on your brush like that. And then on the other side, white. Look, a lot of it there, see? And blue. And if you do that with your blue side down, you will get these streaks of white coming off. And then you will get clouds in your sky, plus your shadows and everything, right? You flip it over so the white goes down there also, see? And you can blend it all together. Now you got to have some wetness there in order to blend. But look, you'll see that you got the dark and the light, okay? So I might leave those there like that, that's nice. Yeah, I like that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add blue, ultramarine blue, magenta, ultramarine blue, magenta, and I'm going to put that up in the corner here, because I want it a bit darker up here, and then as we move down we can add that bit of white and some clouds and different things like that. But it's kind of nice to give your sky, you know, contrast. I always try to throw in a bit of contrast there. Like I say, got to have something to keep it wet in order to do all this blending. Alright, so the magic mist is going to work on that for you. If not, just add water to keep it wet. But see, look at that. Look at that. See that? Isn't that nice? I'm just going to go back and forth now like that. Good. And I'm going to go back in with white for down here. My brush is still dirty, so I'll still get some of those shadows in the sky. Nice. Pretty dry down there, so I'm going to mist it. What a difference it makes when you mist it. Big difference. So there's going to be some trees in that down here, so we don't need to worry too much. Get your sky the way you like it. It's kind of nice, isn't it? Get a bit more blue in there. So I'm going to put some blue on the corner of my brush, just on the corner. See what happens. See, that way you don't get too much. You get to keep your white. Nice. Okay, I'm going to try some magenta on the side. Flip it up a little bit. Oh yeah, that's nice. Got a bit of, oh yeah, that's pretty. Gives that bit of pinkish color in the sky. Look at that. Do that again on the other side. It's pretty. Where can I put it? Here? Nice. Yes, I like that. Nice. Got a little bit of pink in there, you know? Could you ever see skies get a little bit of pink here and there? So pretty, isn't it? Make sure it all blends, all right? Make sure it's nice and wet. It blends. Right. See, I'm keeping that white, see? Because I don't have a big lot of blue paint on my brush. You just use it on the corner of your brush and the magenta or the blue. And that way you'll get to keep, you won't lose your white, okay? Like that. And because you're misting it, it will blend nicer. So there's a lot of tricks, you know, just practice and actually experiment. You don't even have to practice, just experiment. Don't think of it as practice, think of it as experimenting with different colors and different techniques. That's how I learn. I just do. Try it and see what happens, even if I'm doing it in front of you guys. I might make mistakes and it might come out horrible, I don't know, right? But because I want to show you some nice tips and tricks on how to, things that I've learned and tried. Alright, so trees are going down here, so we'll be okay there. But that's not a bad little sky. Isn't that pretty? It's different, isn't it? First I might just add some, you know, grass down here, because here's going to be water. Add some grass here and then place some trees. And I'm using a bristle brush because bristles are rough, right? And they open up and they're not chiseled edge. So I'm going to add some grass here and some trees. And I'm going to use a bristle brush because bristles are rough and they open up, they don't have a chisel to them. And they give me a nice texture to what I'm looking for. I'm using it because I want texture, okay? If I want smooth grass, I'll use a synthetic brush. If I want texture and I want a roughness looking, then I will use bristle, okay? So for the color, I'm going to go with that's ultramarine blue. And let's see, maybe some yellow ochre. I want to get a dark green. It's kind of nice, isn't it? Let's go with that for now. Now, I'm going to tap that on there like that. Now that's a bit wet, so let's let that dry. So the background here has to be dry in order to add extra clouds and the trees because it's too wet, especially where I use magic mist, okay? because that'll stay wet longer. As you can see, it's still wet, and I've been, you know, working on that for a while. So in order for me to put layers on top of that so they won't blend in with the colors in the background, it needs to be dry. So dry that background and then we'll continue. So there we go, that's dry now. So that's better. See, now I can actually get it to work. So I'm looking at my reference photo and I can see that there's a lot of texture there in front of the trees. See it? Right? So we've got to try it. I'm not going to try and make it exactly like that, but this is helping me. It's guiding me. It's guiding me along to see where texture is and see where the composition is. Composition's all laid out for me, so I don't have to worry about it. But I can change up the composition if I want to. Okay, so I'm just going to put this on first, and I'm going to tap it on because I want texture. Okay, so tap, 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 tap. Right, tap, 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 tap. Don't worry if you go under the line, because we're going to, you know, like we're going to be having reflections and everything there. So I'm not going to put reflections there yet, because I want to put some blue paint down there to reflect the sky, and then do all kinds of things. Okay, so you get an idea of where to start and how to start your painting and why we do it certain ways. Okay, now these are not trees. This is just you've seen that there, right? Maybe I should have put the trees on first. It's okay, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Sometimes you can do things. It probably would have been a bit easier to put the trees on, because that way now we got to adjust the trees to the grass. But we'll be okay. So I'm thinking that might be enough there. We don't want it too high. I'm just going by the reference photos helping me decide how big things should be, or, you know, what's the best way to go about it. Okay. All right. I'm going too blue. But I want it dark green, right? I also have sap green here. I might try a little bit of that in there. Sap green's nice too. That's nice, see? But I don't like it by itself. Like, I need to add something to it, some colors. Okay, I don't like it not this one. It depends on the brand you're using. You know, some of the brands have a really nice sap green and others don't. But this is a really nice sap green. It's just I rather have some greens all mixed together. I don't want to have just a one color green. So I just mix in some different colors. Good. People ask me about blocking in and underpainting. Well, right now I'm just blocking in things, right? I'm blocking in, that's the grass there, and I'm going to block in the trees. Underpainting it can be also is basically the same thing. That's an underpainting for my grass, and I'm doing an underpainting. So basically underpainting and blocking in. Blocking in is more like getting your shapes also with your colors, right? Getting your base colors with your shapes, but you know, so it's hard to. So I'm just gonna go here like this. How high up do I want to go, I wonder? Going by reference photo, you go pretty high actually. Let's go up here. Tap, 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 tap. So underpainting, right now I'm kind of, I'll call this blocking in, so I get the shapes of my trees. So I'm blocking in the colors, right? But it also would be an underpainting. Now, that's nice, isn't it? Yeah, we'll keep going with that, and we will, I want to get some tops. I don't want the doll to be the same top. So I'll show you how to get, let's just do this and I'll show you a trick to get your tops without having to worry about it. So we'll just tap, tap, tap. Get all these colors on here, just these dark greens. Don't worry. So the little trick is for your trees is take a liner brush, all right, and put your color on there, and then just pull up these little tops. See? You can always come up with something, so unless you don't want the tops. I mean, you might want, I like the trees the way they are actually, but I wanted to show you the little trick that I had there in case you wanted to use it sometime. But look, there we go. So you can bring up your little tops, and I can show you another little trick too. So that's not bad, is it? Try also, another little trick would be to use the fan brush. So use the corner of your fan brush, whether it's the synthetic or whether it's, and then you can take the fan brush and tap, 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 and you got this little top, see? You got little rough tops too, which is good because it'll look like there's branches and things out there, see? Look, that's pretty cool. Which one do you like the best? Let me know in the comments section, you know, what kind of parts of the painting you like. What did you learn from it, you know? If you give me some ideas, and that will help me know what to paint for you the next time, and what you're learning, what you're struggling with. Just let me know what you're struggling with, and what. You can even email me if you want to for help. If you'd rather do that, because in the comments it kind of gets buried sometimes, right? So you got my email address there. But look, see how that came up nice? That's not bad, is it? Yeah, if you got a bristle, use that. If you don't, use your other one, a synthetic brush. This one's a bit big, but let's see. Right, so you can use that too, see? Well, it's a cute little trick, isn't it? So you don't have to worry about everything all at one time. You can add them on after. So a liner brush, or that, or even a flat brush. Even a flat brush, I would say, would work. I would say even a flat brush, a synthetic flat brush will work. Watch. Yeah, even that will work, see? Now you won't get the same roughness to it, but it works. Look. So that's those. That looks good. And another one here. Something down behind, hiding. Look. Let's put something hiding in the background. Sneak a few in the back. There we go. Makes it look like there's a lot more trees around, doesn't it? Right. See, all these little details makes it look like you know, worked on it for months. And all you did was tap, tap, tap. Tap, 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 tap. In between the ones that are open. Alright. They don't have to be straight. Trees are all over the place. They fall around, they tip over, and see? Looks like lots of trees, doesn't it? Is that cool? Now all we have to do is lighten them up, do some layers of highlights, and bring this to life, and then we'll work on the bottom. You can actually see the texture that I got just by using, right? See the texture? See? I mean, look. It's all got shapes of trees just by tap, tap, tapping, and by putting those little tops on it, see? Nice, isn't it? Right. So now I want to get the colors of the trees the way I want them, okay? So, I'm cleaning off my brush. I'm using my bristle again. I'm thinking rather than, you know, I just want to have, I'm seeing shapes there and I kind of like the way it looks. So I'm just going to try to come up with some colors that looks nice. Now, what can I use? Let's see. Some burnt sienna. I like the burnt sienna. I'm going to try a bit of burnt sienna on here for what? I just want to tap on Just a little bit here and there, okay? Just enough so that you can see it. So a bit of burnt sienna. I don't really want to lose all my green either. I like that green there. So I'm going to add a bit of red to that burnt sienna. See if I can brighten it up a little bit more. So I'm just going to go across here with some of that burnt sienna and a bit of red. Any color red. Cad red is usually nice. Cad red is popular. Just want to add, brighten up these down here after. I'm just going to throw a bit of that in there. So we are going to make this so that you don't lose all your green. Concentrate on the right side of the tree. Try that so that you don't lose those colors. Kind of want to keep greens and reds and colors going on there. There we go. Let's try that. Add a little bit of yellow to your colors that you just mixed. Brighten up a little bit. Because I'm trying to, yeah, I kind of like that's much better. So I'm just kind of getting something on there for now. Now, acrylic's dry dark, so you're probably going to notice that they're dull. They dry dull, so you're probably going to want to add more yellow than the burnt sienna and red to brighten it up, and then we'll add more colors on top of that. So you might need a couple of layers, 2 or 3 or 4 layers of color on those trees in order to bring them out. Alright. One step at a time. One step at a time. Come alive, there's come alive. If you're having a hard time keeping the shape of the tree because the bristle brush is putting shapes on that you don't want, you can also try your fan brush. Turn your fan brush vertical and go with the same shape of the tree and tap it on. Bristle is not bad, but I like it because I'm getting all different kinds of trees, shapes and things. See that? So I'm adding more yellow now than anything. It's kind of nice, isn't it? I might go back to that after, but I just want to see what I can. It's too bright for me. Let's decide where the light is coming in too. I think light's coming in from the right, so let's get, you know, there's a lot of light, a lot of sunshine. The sky looks a bit dull, I'm not sure. But it's your painting, you can do whatever you want. It's very important though to decide where the light is, okay? Because we don't want to have the light in the wrong area. It makes a big difference. Look at all those colors. Isn't that nice? That's much better now, isn't it? Isn't that pretty? So now I'm going to add some yellow in the bottom. So with my dirty brush, I'm going to add yellow. Just look at all that yellow. And maybe a bit of red. Keep it on kind of an orangey side. And I'm going to add these down here. And I'm going to keep some of that green down there, just a little bit. Okay, and I'm going to, but most of it is going to be on top. And that reference photo is really helping me make decisions, I must say. It'll help you make decisions too. Use your reference photo to help you make decisions, all right? Nice. Just tapping and lightly up here because I don't want it to get blobs, all right? So I'm tapping lightly so that it'll spread out. Okay. Add a little more red, maybe a little tiny bit of burnt sienna just to keep that nice color. Might even add a little bit of white, not too much. Yeah, that's it, that's better. I don't want it too yellow because it'll look too fake. But it still looks nice. The reference photo is very yellow. Just whatever's left on my brush, I'm going to bring it down a little bit just to smooth it out and to make it look like it's all blended together, see? That looks a bit better, doesn't it? A bit of white too, just to see what happens. Oh yeah, that's nice. A bit of red so I don't lose my orangey color. Nice. Now if that goes dull on you, you can do it over again, okay? Use a second coat. Bigger trees in the front there. Now, like I said, I'm not going to be exactly the same as the reference photo, but if there are things in the reference photo that I like, I'm going to try and use it. All right? Wow, look at that. Is that pretty? It's not bad, is it? I'll add something else a little bit here. Nice. I'm going to add some little bit of white to my liner brush and put in a few little sticks and things, all right? To make it look like there's branches and things going on there. So a bit of white and I don't know, maybe some of the, but it got to be a lot lighter than, so you can see it, okay? So white, add white to any color that you used. Just add more white to it, lots of white, okay? Maybe even a bit of green, blue, green, here's green. All right, so a bit of burnt sienna. I'm just trying to get some kind of, there we go, I like that better, kind of a brownish white color. Got it? And then just put in a few as if they're little trunks in the background. Sort of go in between the trees so that you don't lose the tree. Just these little here and there, just little short strokes. If you need to change your brush, if your brush is not giving you those thin lines, it's not giving me my thin lines, so I'm going to get something else. I'm going to try toothpick because a toothpick is it's hard, right? So it won't bend on you because the brushes are bending. So I'm going to try that. So I'm just going to do the same thing. It may not work. I'm just going to see. Let's see. Yeah, that's better. It's a bit too late. Some paint on it. Okay, for this corner, I'd say leave a bit of water, but I think we can manage to put some up here. This is a dirty brush with some green on it, so I'm not even really going to worry about it. I'm going to block in my shape that I want. So I'm going to have a boat. So I'm going to put the blue water here. I'll put the boat on last, all right? So the blue water will be here, and the reflections from the trees, and then I'm going to have this here. Alright, so I'm just going to tap on some green, any kind of green, doesn't matter, just anything at all to get some paint on there. Alright, like I said, that can be called blocking in if you want, or you put on an underpainting, but if you're making a shape, we can call it blocking in. Alright, so we're doing a shape here. Now we're trying to figure out where we want this to go and how we want it to look. Reflect the sky. So ultramarine blue is what we used, remember, and what else? Some magenta and white. And I'm going to put white on there like that, like we did in the sky. I'm going to put the dark color down. So the dark color will be down here because that's the darkest up there. And I'm not going to worry too much about switching my brush around, but some white, because I want to get that white look like I did up on top. So when your brush is dirty, just add white. Don't add any paint yet, any blue paint yet, because there's plenty there to come off. Right? And so as we come up, the trees are going to come down into the water, but we still want to bring the water up because you never know, maybe you'll be able to see some of the water. So I'm going to add some magenta to that ultramarine blue, and I'm going to add white on the back. Let's see if I get that to work again. Yeah, it looks nice. See how the white and the blue, see that? Now, what you should do is you should take some watercolor paper or whatever and practice a bit first. So say you're doing that sky first, practice it on some paper first and then do it on your canvas. Same with the trees, practice a few of those trees and then do it on your canvas. Alright, and that way you'll be able to have an idea what you're going to do before you get on your canvas. That way you won't get frustrated and you'll get a better painting. Got a bit of pink going on there. See, there's the magenta right here. See? There's the magenta. I'm just putting a little bit on the corner of my brush so I don't have too much. So you got a little bit of magenta going on there. What else we got up there? Okay, and as we get help, it's mostly trees, so we'll just not worry about it too much. We'll put on some paint here. So I'm going to take my fan brush and I'm going to add my burnt sienna, the red, green, all that. I don't really want to worry too much about the colors right now, but I'm going to see if I can, right, so it's down to about here, okay, so just going to see if I can get that a little bit. Not going to worry too much, just going to, might say, well, you look like you're worrying. Well, I don't want to mess up too much. I don't want to get too hung up on it. I'm just going to fill that in a bit there. The paint is still wet, so the colors are coming. But I want it to be wet, okay? I want the paint to be wet for a reason. I'm going to show you in a second. Add more red and stuff, whatever colors are up here. I'm going to. So the misting is good because I want it to be more, I want to get down as fast as I can before it dries. Try not to let it dry. I got a big canvas, so by the time I get back to there it might be, I'm afraid it might. Trying to keep some of that green color there too. I hope I can do this right for you now. I'm just mixing red and green, and the paint underneath here is still wet because I didn't use my magic mist. So we are going to pull over a palette knife like this, or fan brush I should say. That will give it the illusion of it being underwater. But you gotta do it, you gotta catch it while it's wet. Don't worry it's not perfect because we can always fix it up. But once we get this part done, this is the main thing, right? See? So see how it looks like it's underwater? Now, I'll fix up that part there, but I just wanted to show it to you. Okay? See? I will put more yellow because there's more yellows there, right? So just tap them on. See? Okay. Come on. Across. Now, how's that? Cool. And so what we'll do here is we will get a bristle brush again and just fill that in there. Get a bristle brush and just fill that in color. Okay, just maybe we just drag it along there. That's a bit better. There we go. That's better. There we go. Just rub it in there. That just feels temporary in there. See? Just scrubbing it. That's a nice reflection, isn't it? I like it. Cool. So we'll try this brush here. There's number 10 on it, and it's round. So I don't use very many round brushes, but these are great for round bushes, round clouds. Like, let's just do a little cloud with it first. This is all dry up here now, so now I can do a bit of a cloud. I'm going to add a little bit of magenta to my cloud. And a little bit of magenta, so it won't be so... And it's a little bit of blue in there too, so maybe too much, I don't know. So I'll just stick, there's some clouds that I already had there, so I'm just going to make some round circles. I got a nice cloud. Yeah. So these are great for clouds because they're already round, see? Always go back over what we did earlier, and just wanted to show you. But look, make sure when you do your clouds you get some kind of a shape to them anyway, and then just pull out a small edge there like that. See, pull out a small edge, and then pick up more white than anything else, just white, and so you can add some more, maybe one underneath that one. I like the overlap. Overlapping in your paintings really makes it more realistic and gives it a nice feel to it. So you can do that. You can add a bit of a top on here if you want to. Just move out whatever's left over in your brush. See, just give it that feeling of floating in the sky. See, so you just circle circles. Do it on top of what you already have done, that way you can have your shadow too, see? Right? So you need shadows in your sky too, in your clouds. Not a bad little cloud. They're nice little clouds. So the very top of the clouds will be nice and white so that you can see it better, but you'll have your shadows there, that magenta with, you know, or pink, you know, it doesn't have to be magenta if you don't have it. Just what, you know, a tip for you. Use whatever colors you have. If a painting calls for blue, use whatever blues you have. You can even mix them together if you want, you know. Mixing colors together makes them more vibrant and more colorful. So if you got several blues, you can mix them together. It's like, you don't have to mix them up completely, but you can, you know, use them side by side, or sort of get them to go into each other like I did up here. So that's pretty nice. Now those clouds are nice and fluffy there now. See? That's nice. And that's with the round brush. So we're just trying out a round brush today. So let's come down into the grassy area. Now the grassy area, I'm gonna tap on some bushes, and then I'm gonna put on the details after. I just want to get something started. I'll get some color on there or something, okay? So I'm going to say light's coming in from the lights shine around here a lot and here, okay? I'm going to say light is coming in and it's hitting off some of this over here and here, okay? So in this area. So how can I start this? Let me see. I'm going to put some yellow on there. So I'll show you, look. swatch. So I have 3 or 4 different yellows. So whatever yellows you've got there, put them on your palette and you can tap into them, right? So I have yellow ochre and I have cad yellow and a light yellow. So I'm just going to tap into, I might tap into the light yellow first. So it doesn't matter. And we'll tap that on there. Just want to get some start on this. Just want to get us started. I'd like to have a little bit of light up here too. While I'm at it, while I remember. Yeah. So I thought about it earlier and I said that looks like it needs more light up here. So that's the brightest yellow I have so far. Now see, acrylics dry really dull, so you almost have to add white to your yellows to really brighten them up. Get them really bright. And this brown brush is giving me some really nice stroke. I wouldn't call them strokes, but really nice texture. You'll be able to get them, the round brushes basically anywhere. Add a little bit of red in with that. A little bit of red. I just tapped into my red without mixing, okay? Don't like to mix. I like to mix on my canvas. See, all I'm doing is just touching into the red. Right? Not much. Some of these bristles, you'll find some of these bristles will come off. But the solution to that is to wash them. Wash them first before you use them. All right. Now, if I don't want too much red, I can mix yellow and red together, make orange. And that way, then I'll be able to keep it to the orangey color. Gotta get some of those colors to bounce out. It's nice and bright there now. Now, if you want to add a bit of white to your yellow to really brighten it up, you do that too. Whatever yellow you got there. Let's see. Seems to be a bit of brightness going on here where the sun must be really hitting off of there. Just here and there. Now I want to get that here. I'm tapping lightly, and you can see where I'm tapping lightly, it leaves some open space, which is what I'm looking for, okay? I don't want to just make one big blob of color. All right, I might add some red. Tap it here so that I'm going to add some more of that other yellow so I can get some different colors. You can go around the sides if you have a canvas has a wraparound on the sides of your canvas, the different colors that you're doing. Just go right around the sides, and that way you'll be able to make it look like it's wrapped around. So, just watch. Now this is the way it looks here with the paint on it, okay? You can see it's a flat brush, but it opens up and it's bristle. And you don't have to spend, you know, a ton of money. Look, just leaves all these little it opens up and it leaves all this extra that you would have to do with a a small round brush to get those individual little, oh, look, nice. You have so much fun if you got the right brushes, you know. You have so much enjoyment knowing, you know, that you're creating, your brush is creating all these fantastic, look, that's amazing. So all I want to do with my liner brush is make some twigs or something sticking out there. So I'm going to use white and a bit of yellow. I want them to really stand out. Alright, so I'm just going to make a few of these. Wet your brush first and then put the paint on it, on your liner brush. So lots of water helps it. Lots of water, it almost drips. And when you mix it in with your paint, then it won't drip anymore because you'll be putting paint on there, okay? Alrighty then. Try to get them as skinny as you can. Lots of white, some yellow. If your brush won't move, want more water on there. I should say if your paint won't move, but your brush is the one that's, you know, you need a good brush. So the longer the line, the longer the bristles, or, you know, the brush, the longer it is, the better results you'll get for these here. Okay. Find it the longest one you can find. And way to go. Okay, I'm going to try my flat brush now and use a chiseled edge. I like to experiment because sometimes I might miss out on what a brush can do. So just a chiseled edge, and bring up some of these. There we go. These are nice and thin. Not as thin as I would like them, but I'm just going to put a few there. Okay. So using a small flat brush or filbert or whatever you have there, go into some, let's see, some green, could be sap green or whatever, and some yellow, and just kind of putting some greens on there, just kind of making a little more realism by making some individual. I don't like that green, no, I don't like that. I think I'll make my own green with some ultramarine blue. It's better. I found that other color was a bit too cartoony. I'm just adding a few extra little leaves in between just to give it a little bit more realism. So you just touch and sit down, touch, sit down, touch on your chisel edge and sit back. Don't need a lot of these though, but it doesn't hurt to throw in a few little extras. Don't go over what you see there is really nice. Sort of find places that are in between those nice little flowers that you made. Like I say, you don't have to do this if you don't want to. I'm just trying to show you the different things you can do. I'm going to overlap some of those. I find it too straightforward to draw like in one row. I don't like that. It's on top of each other or something. Make a bunch of them right here or something like that. A couple down here. Kind of like the messy look though. Don't want to mess that up. That came out really nice. I kind of like that the way it is. Gives it a nice look, doesn't it? So I think I'm going to leave that messy look. I kind of like that. It gives it more of a, I like the abstract look. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little more color, some more orange, yellow, either yellow or all three, it doesn't matter. Maybe I'm going to add more color. Maybe I'll add a little bit of white. I don't want it to turn pink though. And I don't want to overdo it. I kind of like it the way it is. It's not too bad, is it? Maybe there where I couldn't get those to pop up, I'm going to have some orange flowers coming up like that. Maybe even some blue ones. Blue and white. See what that looks like. It's blue. I tell you, blue in a flower bed looks really nice. Or wherever there's flowers, blue looks really nice. More white than blue to get it nice and bright. Just tap very gently. Those nice flowers. Cool. So nice. See how the blue makes everything sort of pop? Gives it a poppy look. I mean, what a difference. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? A little bit here, a little bit there. Don't get carried away like me. Sometimes I get carried away. So that looks pretty nice, I think. You know? The white there. I'm trying to make it stand out a bit more, see? So I'm adding more white. You know. So what's in my mind and what's in your mind might be different. So if you might want your flowers. May not want reds, may not want any colors there at all, I don't know. But you decide. So that looks kind of nice. So, you know, after I can add some more, anything at all, you can add whatever you want. So what am I going to do next? I like to put a couple of bigger trees. I don't know, I want one big tree here that will push everything back, or some trees back here. I'm thinking maybe one big tree coming up here, coming over. I don't know. Let me think about that for a second. I think I could mess it up, but I'm going to try anyway. I'm going to put some burnt sienna. You can use burnt umber if you like. I might even add a bit of sap green to it, just to darken it up a bit. And I'm going to use my flat brush. I'm going to use my chiseled edge. And I'm going to try my best to get a tree right here, coming up here. I'm just going to mark it right here. I'm going to come up. Here, this. And then I'm going to bring another one out like this just to give it some shape. You can have whatever country you want. Just kind of push some stuff back. There's a little tree there. And I might put a big one here, or I might just put some leaves coming in. I'm not sure, because this will push things back a little bit. You know, it won't be so plain. You know, you can do whatever you want. But as for the composition, I'm trying to decide about the competition. I'm trying to decide with the composition what I want, the way I want things to go. I didn't plan it out in the beginning. You're better off almost planning it. Well, I was going by the reference photo, but then I changed my mind and I keep going. So sometimes it's, for a beginner, it probably will be better to actually do a layout, you know, what you want to paint, where you want to put things. You know, I went by the reference photo, which was good because that helped me put things in place. And then I decided things after. There's nothing wrong doing that either, because it makes it more fun, because you're in control. You're the one that's in control. You don't have to go. If I went by that reference photo, it wouldn't look like this. It'd be, I don't know. And I wouldn't be having as much fun, because I'll be letting the reference photo control me, and I don't want that to happen. I want to be able to control my own thoughts on my paintings. And I know, yes, you do have to have some idea of the basics of painting in order to be able to make those decisions. So while it's good to use a reference photo till you get used to the paints and the brushes and how they work, and a little practicing that you can do on the side, and all that good stuff, okay? So I want you to add white to that color that your dirty brush. Add white, and then you can add that on the side here. You can touch and pull in. Right up. Okay. There we go. We can add more white to that after. Try to get that edge. If you need to, you can just tap it on. Just enough brightness so that you can see that's where the light is on that side, because that's where the sun is shining over. When that dries, you can always add more white, because the colors are a bit darker, they're wet, they're dulling down to white. Yeah, good. You can take your liner brush. Let's put some branches on there. So I'm just going to go with the dark colors, the burnt sienna. You can use burnt umber if you got it, or brown and black, and brown and sap green, or something to really darken it up. And then you can take out some branches. You can have some sticks coming out here like that. See that? And you can have some coming off the tree. There we go. Good. each brush. Some more. That tree looks nicer, doesn't it? Because that will push it back a bit, see? That's a nice little tree. Now, we can put some leaves on that, or you don't have to, but you can. So we can do that. So you can use a fan brush, or you can use, I'm just going to use that bristle brush that I really like. So I have a lot of colors on here, so this is the fun part. Put all your colors on, and then you can pick up the ones that you want to use. So I'm trying to get a bit of a greenish look to those leaves. I'm going green, and I'm going to tone it down with a little bit of red to make it more earthy. Okay, the green and red are complementary to each other, so if you want to dull your green, you want to dull down a color, use the complementary color. Okay. Alright, so let's see what way we can put these on. Just going to tap a little bit, I don't want too much. I think I'm just going to do very little. You can do whatever you want, but if you're trying to learn, I guess, you can follow what I'm doing if you want to. But if there's something you don't like about it, then just put on your own colors. Like me with the reference photo, just use it as a guide to help you figure out where things go, what brushes to use, and that's all. That's all you need to do. Everything else is in your hands. Just going to add a bit of highlight to that. See, I'm just adding a bright yellow to my dirty brush. Just going to add some individual. Okay, this brush is great for getting individual leaves and things. Look. So what we did with that tree, I will call it, that was an underpainting. Okay, I didn't try to, I might try and do a video on blocking, because somebody asked me about what's the difference between blocking in and underpainting, which was a very, very good question, because it's not something I bring up at all, or anybody really for that matter. I haven't even seen anybody bringing that question up, but it was a fantastic question. So that's that. That looks pretty nice. I like that. It's not overbearing, because we have enough, all this foliage and everything going on. We don't need a lot of it up here, right? We just need to enhance the painting. Now we don't need to make it too, that's really nice. So I think we'll probably put a bit of land over here after. We'll put the boat in first, and then we'll put a little bit of grassy land or something over here just to fill in that space, or we'll see how the boat looks first. And then, so I'm trying to make adjustments, trying to get the better shape for my boat. So I'm going to send you a pattern, because getting shapes of boats is it's a little tedious, but you can make any boat that you want there. So I'm just making adjustments to my boat. As you can see, clean up some areas there. And so you get a pattern and you put it on there. It'd be best to do it that way, but you can certainly try freehand. And then when you get the shape of your boat that you're happy with, decide what color you would like to have your boat. I'm kind of going for a reddish color. I like red. So pick the colors that you want for your boat. Look at pictures of boats. See what you can find that would make you happy. something in there. We'll call it blocking it in. I gotta do it because I'm getting people asking about blocking in and underpaintings. That I should do a separate video on that so I can explain it more to you, but right now we can call this blocking in if you want, but yet it could be an underpainting. But if you call it a blocking in, it's because you're trying to get the shape. That's in my opinion. Try and get the shape of the boat to see. But you got the underpainting to try and get the colors that you want. So, shapes and colors, that's what you really need to do. So I'm going to put some green on that part here just to get something started, like I said. So I want to create some shadow on there, so I'm going to put like a purplish color, some blue, some red, nice dark red, see right there, nice and dark. Add a little bit more red if you want it on the red side. Nice. So decide where you want your shadow, which I'm thinking here. Pull it in from the back. That nice. Gives it kind of a worn look. Short strokes. Leave some of the red showing through. Like that. So just leave some of the red showing through, and that gives kind of a more warm look. Just putting in some color just to see if I can come up with a nice shape. Just trying to see what colors I'd like to use. You can use reference photos to help you. Just trying to make sure that I get the boat, the shape okay. So the boat, I'm gonna leave it like that because I like that rough look to it. I kind of like it. I like it suits the picture because the whole picture is almost kind of rough looking. So I'm just going to use my large bristle brush again. And I'm going to put my highlights on my grass here. And then I'm going to add some detail. And then I'll finish the painting. So I'm just going to tap on a little bit of this and a little bit of that. Just some greens, yellows, different things. Just something to... shadows more over here, right? So we want to leave some shadow color here. But first of all, I want to get some of my yellows and greens in there. So we can use different color greens and yellows. Just tap gently so you don't get blobs like I just got there. There we go. Just want to get something to look like grass, right, or some kind of foliage. See, so whatever's on your brush, just tap it gently. Don't worry right now it doesn't look perfectly. Just trying to continue with that one there. That looks nice, doesn't it? Right, I want to keep this a little dark down here, but yet not black, you know. I want to have some... There we go, that's better. Good. Now I'm going to take up my liner brush. Just get a long liner brush. I have several here. I'm trying out different ones. Some of them work better than others. You know, you wouldn't think that, would you? But I'm going to wet it. See, it's dripping. But once I put in my paint, the dripping will go away, all right? But it will drip if you don't add paint to it. And that's what we need to do. So just adding yellow and white and trying to make some nice long grass. Okay, so add long grass. Try to touch lightly. Try different ones. So if you see me using different brushes, it could be the same brush but just longer or whatever. So I'm always picking up different brushes. If I can't get what I'm looking for, I get frustrated and then I'm like, alright, put you away for a few minutes. I keep trying different brushes, but once you find that perfect brush, hang on to it for dear life. So just adding some highlights and different things to see. The more layers you put on it, the more interesting it gets, because there's all kinds of things going on there. I'm going to add some white to my yellow. Just going to pick out a couple of places. Nothing, not going to do very much. Just trying to see where the sun is shining there. Just a little tap here and there, okay? Don't overdo it. There we go. Good. So I have to put some shadow under here. That's too light. So we're going to go to dark green. So use a dark green that you have there, kind of for, just for shadow. We use the green if you want to. Whatever color you want in blue. I think the green is nice. I'll let some blue, okay, nice and dark here and here. I might let some of the water come through there a little bit. Imagine where that shadow might be. You know, it's hard to, if you're not there and you're trying to make it up as you go along, even with reference photos, still you gotta come up with some ideas, right? Don't worry about it too much, because it is your painting. You can decide what you want there. So that's all right. So I don't know if because it's blue water, we should put a bit of blue there too. I'm just going to add a little bit of blue there. Just in between there, just to soften it up on the edge there. See that edge there is kind of rough, so I'm just going to kind of throw that in there. Add some white. Just thought I had a little bit too much there or something, I don't know. Kind of like it, you know, that's kind of nice. So I'm gonna try one more little thing now, and then I think I'm gonna leave it alone. You can do as much stuff as you want to it. Just get a small round brush. Small round brush with some black on one end and white on the other, like that. We'll make a few little pebbles. A few little rocks and pebbles, just to say that, you know, there's some gravel or something there. Our imagination. Some pebbles in with the I'm just tapping actually, because when you got black on one side and white on the other, when you tap, it'll make its own pebbles. Okay, black side down. All over the place. Put them wherever you want. And maybe it's a little path there to somebody walk down, and a little pebbly path. Somebody walk down and get to the boat. See how you use your imagination. Like, oh, maybe there's, you know, how's he going to get to the boat if they can't get to the boat with all the grass and everything around, mud. So let's put a little path in for this person. Something like that. Still grass is hanging around there. So I don't know, I think, you know, I mean, I can highlight that boat a little bit more, I think. It's very difficult to, when you keep looking at it. I got a little round brush here, and you see things that you could possibly make look better or worse. Pick at enough, you'll make it nice, and you'll make it worse sometimes. The problem, see, is our acrylics dry dull, and the problem is when it's done and when it's all dry, then you look back at it and go, I need more highlights there, I need more. It's not that you need more highlights, it's just that it dried so dull. It's just the way our acrylics are, and I try to avoid that by adding white to my lighter colors, brighten them really bright, and then when I put them on, they're going to dull anyway. So that sometimes helps. Just trying to give it the effects of being nice and bright, on like the sun shining on this boat here. Should be using a flat brush. See how I'm getting all those edges there? That's because you really need to use a flat chiseled edge brush. That will really help a lot. Okay. So find a small flat chiseled edge brush. Nice and chiseled edge. Okay. So then you can keep your straight line then, see? kind of gives it a little bit of a look that there might be some light shining there in the back. You don't have to do that, but I just wanted to give it a try. So, the only other place I can see needs a little bit of highlight is on that tree. Just a little bit of brown and white. Just touch the edge with your flat chiseled edge brush. Nice. Okay, I'm gonna call it finished. I could play with that, like, I mean, it's so much you can do with the painting. Okay, that's pretty nice. I'm gonna call that finished. If you can think of anything else you'd like to do with it, you go right ahead. You can add birds to it, or you can put someone in the fishing boat. You can put oars there. You can do whatever you want. But I'm gonna leave it for the video's sake. And I hope you enjoyed this video today, and I hope you learned a lot. And don't forget to subscribe and like my videos so that I can grow my channel for you, so I can put up lots of videos. So you guys have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now from Allison Prior.